Hello and welcome back. Once again, this is Lady Arcaders Out of Bounds Toronto. Where we heard Didosaur is not in our upcoming game, so Didosaur is here to join me on my shoulder. But you just saw a fantastic run of Pokemon Snap Any Percent by Mrs. Candy Rhea earlier, and now we're going head to head with that because we've got the modern version of Pokemon Snap. That's new Pokemon Snap, a Durice Island high score showcase by SnowballSMB. Now, Snowball I've been watching Snowball do this, and she's been zooming. So make sure you don't blink because you don't want to get caught missing any of these shots. Snowball, take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Snowball, and this is going to be the new Pokemon Snap Durice Island High Score Showcase. Durice Island is the 5th major area in new Pokemon Snap that has the snowfields both during the day and night, and also the Outaway Cave and Steelix Illumina spot courses. I'll explain a little bit about how the whole course scores work on the first stage, so I'll just give a real quick countdown and we will be off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you, thank you. So every time you play a course in New Pokemon Snap, you have a camera memory storage space of 72 photos. You want to make sure that you take photos of every single slot in the camera storage that you have, because at the end of every stage, every photo that you take will get scored. So the way that high course scores are tallied in this game, if I'm remembering the formula correctly, is it takes the score of every photo that you took during that playthrough of the stage, and then multiplies that score by the number of different Pokemon species that you took pictures of at that time through the course, and then adds all of that up together. The snowfield stages are sort of split into 4 sections. This area is pretty tame on the daytime course. This is probably actually the easiest section out of the 4 between both stages. Grab Frostmoth, and then now I will swap to cool little thing that I believe you unlock in the post game. You can change how many photos you take per button press. So you can take either 1 photo, 3 photos, 4 photos, or 6 photos, and that is the burst feature, and it is very, very helpful for getting high scores. I do need to be quick on this Frostlass. This is actually a really difficult picture to get a good score on. Grab Vivian, and now here's the sort of reset point of Snowfield's Day. I need to lure this Glalie over to the shore. It'll look right at the camera, grab the picture, switch to burst of 6, throw the Illumina Orb, and it will bite Avalug's tail, grabbing a burst of 6 really high score photos on the Avalug, as well as scaring a Vanillux out of the cave to a later point in the stage. Now that I got the Beartix, Spheal is up next. Spheal is just rolling around on that little iceberg there. Next up is Piplup. So there are a handful of different tools that you have to cause various interactions with Pokemon to happen. There's the scan, which is also used to, I always forget about Mightyena. The scan is used to both get certain interactions with Pokemon to occur and also to find alternate paths. During the Snowfields stage, I actually take 2 alternate paths to get out to this lake area. throw the Illumina Orb. Illumina Orb is another item. It sort of gives the Pokemon a nice little glow. And depending on the Pokemon, it'll cause various things to happen. Like with the Vanillix, it used, I think it's Frost Breath that it uses there. There are also Fluff Fruits, which are in the lore is they're like apples except lighter. So sure. And you can also play a little tune on a built-in recorder to the camera.
So if I can just interrupt real quick, because I've been playing new Pokemon Snap since coming to Canada for this, actually. And so Scan actually causes Pokemon reactions as well?
Yeah. Not with every species of Pokemon, but some will sort of like perk up a little bit. Some will look directly at the camera for a brief period of time. Sometimes it'll like cause Pokemon to like wander off. But yeah, it is a pretty useful tool for various stages for high score purposes. Not thrilled about the angle that I had on Crabominable, but it should be fine. All right, that's a PB on that stage.
Nice.
All right, 6,739,992. I will take that. Usually I'm really, really happy with like a 6.6 or even a high 6.5 million in a marathon setting, but a lot of things fell into place nicely on that stage this time around. Now, the nighttime version of the stage. This is pure chaos. This stage has the highest number of different Pokemon species that you take pictures of out of every stage in the game, with 26. There is a glitched route, to my knowledge, that actually takes pictures of 28, but I prefer to play this game glitchless, so, and I believe it was like less than 10 people have actually pulled off that route. I do need to throw a Fluff Fruit at the Mightyena to get it away from that log so it does not try to eat Santa. Take a picture of the Delibird, Illumina Orb, the Sandslash. Take a picture, throw the Fluff Fruit at the Igloo to open the door, grab Snorunt, Orb Sandslash again, and this will get Braviary to stop, I think. Hey, Sandslash. Thank you. Alright, so that is 6 photos. That is the correct number to have taken. This part of the stage is way more chaotic this time around. This is going to be very, very fast-paced. Crabominable is going to sort of walk across the road here. Go over to this tree. Throw the orb, and it will punch the tree, knocking a bunch of snow onto Abomasnow, who will wake up and use Blizzard, which will spawn the Frostlass, which I'll take a picture of. Fluffer the Frostmoth off the tree. And then I need to throw 2 Fluff Fruits at this Crabominable to wake it up. Throw an orb up to Glaceon, take a picture. Crabominable will punch the tree, a bunch of Snoms will fall out. And then there are 2 more Pokemon in this section. Furret and Weavile, and then route change into the Ice Cavern again. And now I'll actually be using the little tune that you can play built into the camera to wake up this Jinx and get a 4-star photo. The different star levels of the photos are really just for like different interactions. Usually 4-star photos though do have more points, but that's not always the case. Grab Vivian. That looked really good. Picture of Cubchoo.
You haven't been kidding about this being fast-paced.
And now this is definitely the most frightening part of the run, because this is the last area of snowfield tonight, and this is the reset point. I need to Illumina Orb the Jinx, so that way, I don't know what it uses, but it causes the Aurora Borealis to start. Take a picture of Dugong. Grab Barrack-Tick. Throw Fluff Fruit into this lake to get Magikarp. Now I need to look over here, and I have to hit Suicune with an Illumina Orb as it runs across the lake. If I miss... Okay, good, got the hit. If I had missed that, then it would not have stopped on the shore, which it didn't that time for some reason. All right, we got to do that again because Suicune just decided no. That is honestly perfectly fine because very, very picky of me. I was not happy with the Piplup specifically, which is a very minuscule part of the run. Like, that picture that I got this time is literally going to be only like 300 or 400 points more than the one that I had gotten. But Suicune is sort of the like heavy burst photo Pokemon of this run because there is a 4-star interaction where once it stops on the shore and you hit it with another Illumina Orb, it'll use... Again, I don't know what the move is that it's using. I think it's Blizzard, but who knows? And that photo can be upwards of like close to 6,000 points, which is an incredibly high
I don't think I've
point
ever
total.
gotten over 5,000. I've barely gotten 4,000 in like my casual play.
Yeah, 4,000 is the sort of amount, or the minimum amount for the Diamond Star sort of ranking when you're getting your photos scored at the end. So whenever there's a Pokemon that can get a really high count like that, you want to try to capitalize on it. I don't think I missed anyone in this section. Having to play this section twice is stressful. Alright. Once again, Jinx, Vanillix, Cubchoo, and Vivian. This section is the real breather of this run. Alright, that should be a pretty good Jinx. Wake up the Vanillix again, throw the fruit to Cubchoo. Speed up a little bit. That's another thing that you can do. I believe in the post game also is where you unlock it. I could be wrong about that, but at a certain point you unlock the ability to sort of like accelerate the vehicle that you're riding around in, and that's useful for just like speeding things up a bit. But let's feed the Dugong. This should be a better angle because it's taking up more of the photo. Grab Barrack-Tick, Magikarp, and then Suicune, please behave. Please behave this time. I don't want to play this stage a third time.
For what it's worth, Chad is enjoying getting to see the Snom tree again.
Snom tree is the best tree. Alright. Now it should work this time. There we go. Grab Mamoswine, and then I need to try to get 18 Suicunes before it runs off again. I'm gonna just let it run. I did not take the picture of Swinub when I needed to, so I need to do this quick. Take one more Suicune. And then as soon as it runs off, grab Swinub. And Delibird's also in that photo, so that should be some good extra points. And the last Pokemon is Aurorus. I would like to try to feed it, because then its sails will light up. And it'll make a very adorable sound.
Oh.
And that is maybe the hardest stage in the realm of high score. Definitely the most fast-paced and chaotic. 26 species, so good. Every once in a while, the game does not count Glaceon. It'll just say no subject, and I always get annoyed. But Reset gave me a PB on the 1-star Piplup, so I'll take it. But since we're just tallying scores on these photos, and now that we're sort of in the clear, I'm going to throw it over to the host.
All right, Snowball. Well, first off, my jaw has been dropping because, as I've mentioned, my casual play has nowhere near this good. But also, we just got a raid. So, hey, if you're tuning in, welcome on in. This is Lady Arcaders. We are an all-women's gaming collective. We run weekly showcases and the occasional charity event. And we strive to uplift and encourage women in their gaming endeavors by cultivating a supportive environment in which to showcase their talents. Like this fantastic high score showcase by Snowball. Can we give it up for Snowball, please? Yeah, like, oh my, hello, a 6,000 point Suicune photo. But hey, if you want to keep up with our events, join our public Discord, type !Discord in chat for a link, or go to ladyarcaders.com. We'd love to have you join us because we've been seeing some fantastic gaming yesterday and today.
Double PB so far.
Yo, sweet! Congrats on the double PB!
Thank you, thank you. All right, now we are heading on into the cave. I said we're in the clear for the rest of the run. That's actually a lie. Because of 3 Pumpkaboos and 3 Clefairies. Honestly, though, it's not the Clefairies' fault. It's more... This stage has one of the most unforgiving timing windows for activating an alternate route. And of course, we need the alternate route because we just do. Grab Noibat, and then there are going to be 4 Pumpkaboos throughout the stage that I need to hit with Illumina Orbs. Because the end of the stage, there's sort of like an underground jungle cave area, and there is a 5th Pumpkaboo that shows up in that area. If you have hit the other 4 Pumpkaboos with Illumina Orbs throughout the stage on that attempt, then that Pumpkaboo will, at the end of the stage, will be a supersized Pumpkaboo, which is just better for points because it's bigger. Orbit the Gengar portal to get it to pop out, orbit again, and it'll try to startle the Carbinks a bit. Now I need to hit this Hydreigon twice. I'll turn around and yell. Look up here to orb Pumpkaboo. I always forget the Braviary's next. This is why it's important to have notes. Look up to the skylight, and there will be a Barracuda that will look over the ledge. I really hope that counted as Barracuda and not Crobat. We'll find out later. Drifloon, could you look at the camera? You know what, that's good enough. Now I need to... This part's actually RNG, and I did not get favorable RNG. It is completely random, the number of Magikarps that jump over that waterfall. Between 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to pop the Tune, and then orb that Crystabloom to get the Clefairies to start floating. That, I think I took that a little bit too early, though, because you can get like upwards of like 5,600 or more on the Clefairy, but I think taking it early lowers the points because they're not as big in the frame. Now I will take a picture of Crobat and then Crogunk. Turn around and look down, and there is the Pumpkaboo. And now we are coming up to my personal favorite mythical Pokemon. We have the Diamond Princess Diancie in this very cave. I will throw 3 Illumina Orbs as I get stuck in Drifloon traffic. to light up the Mawile and 2 Carbinks to get Diancie to come bouncing out, hit her with an Illumina Orb, and I definitely don't know what move this is that Diancie is using, but it's really, really pretty and really cool. So, okay, now I need to take a burst of 4, and then...
I feel like it's an incredibly good argument for Diancie being a good legendary. Just that move and that photo.
Yeah, this stage is one of my favorites because Diancie and Pumpkaboo are here. Those are genuinely 2 of my favorite Pokemon. Also, I'm very disappointed that Mawile was facing away from the camera. All right, there's the supersized Pumpkaboo. Grab Vivian.
I just want to say I was here for that Sableye pose.
Yeah, Sableye's just relaxing. That's a really difficult photo to get an ideal score on because the Pumpkaboo shimmies so quickly that getting the photo while it's actually looking at the camera is a really tight time window. Rampardos is going to have a snack. There we go. I think I could have been a little bit better on camera placement on the Rampardos, but that should still be good. I have to predict this is probably like a 6.5 or 6.6 million unless something went very wrong on the scoring end. Every once in a while something will go wrong in this game and I'm just left so confused as to what exactly went wrong that I did not realize went wrong. Like the Hydreigon, I genuinely don't understand how to get that one like a consistent 4,000. It just happens sometimes and doesn't other times. Yeah, I lost a decent amount of points on the Clefairy because I did not want to have to replay the first half of the stage, so I took it a little, I think, prematurely. Didn't really lose that much on the Mawile, even though it was looking away from the camera. Solid Pumpkaboo. Okay, the Rampardos was a lot better than I was expecting. And now we are going to be moving on to the... Okay, no, that's going to PB. What is happening?
3 PBs, woo! And again, this is a high score showcase, so that means Snowball has been beating her high score over and over again.
I would very much like to PB this last stage because currently on the, well, fun fact about this game, there's in-game global leaderboards for course scores. I am currently in 10th place on this stage, the Steelix Illumina spot. And if I'm able to PB again, I will move up like two places. But my score is at the point where that's rough. I'm gonna reset because I don't think the one in the back was still lit up. So I have, as the first thing to do in my route notes for this stage, I have written down, and I quote, "Orb 3 terrible Noibats." That is because these 3 Noibats that I have to hit with Illumina Orbs are the 3 terrible Noibats. Their movement is completely RNG. They will just decide to move behind, just completely behind objects, so you can't hit them with Illumina Orbs. And to get a very specific interaction with Steelix at the end of the stage that results in 57 photos of it being taken, you have to hit these 3 Noibats with Illumina Orbs so they're lit up all at the same time. So this is not the greatest start to a route, but alright, got that. Now it is, I believe, this tunnel, if I'm looking at it correctly. Throw a Fluff Fruit in there, Steelix will pop out of that tunnel. Throw 1 Illumina Orb. So the Illumina spots are sort of like this game's boss battle levels, you can think of it like that. And the Illumina Pokemon are very special because once you hit them with a few Illumina Orbs, they will light up with a special pattern. Steelix is one of those Pokemon, and I'm very happy about that because Steelix is probably in my top 10 favorite Pokemon. But these stages are usually a little bit shorter in length and also much smaller species count. Like, the previous 3 stages we played had 21, 26, and 19 different species of Pokemon we took pictures of. This time around, we're taking pictures of 6. And 67, I don't know. I don't feel like, yeah, 67 different photos. I can do basic math in my head, I swear. 67 of those photos will be Steelix. But I will throw an Illumina Orb to light up that Crystabloom to get Crobat to fly out over this sort of ravine area. Speed up a little bit, and then it will fly around in place and turn in a circle. That should be good. I think that might have been a little bit more points if my camera had been angled a little bit up. I'm very, very picky about my Crobat photos because that one, I feel like out of the species of Pokemon that aren't Steelix, I feel like that's the one that I have the most control over. Maybe Carbink. Maybe I have a little bit more control over Carbink. Okay, I have to reset because apparently the Noibats decided to live up to their title of the 3 terrible Noibats because for some reason Steelix did not show up. I have no idea. Suicune and Steelix are not friendly today. Nope, got the first 2 really quickly. And then the third one was... I don't know where the third one was going. Alright, that... Are you serious, game? Please, thank you. Noibat. Okay, that should work. Alright, let's try this again. I am a little bit saddened about this reset, though, because that attempt did feel pretty good, at least up to that point. But I think I could actually do a little bit better on this burst of 6. Need to flick up a little bit. That was not good.
I just want to completely emphasize for anyone who may be thinking, oh, Pokemon Snap's just a game where you take pictures of cute monsters. Sure, whatever. No, this is difficult. Like, you need quick reactions to get that good shot timing.
Yeah, this stage, you, especially in the first section, you have to be especially quick, because there is a very small window of time where you can actually get the Noibats and get the Fluff Fruit down the right tunnel, and then get Steelix to show up out of the hole in the floor without being too close to the point where you can't really take pictures of Steelix anymore. But, alright. Let's get the Crobat again. That looks pretty good. So the sort of like way you can tell if the whole Noibat-Steelix interaction is going to work is this tunnel in the side here where there are a few Sableyes. There we go. Now the Noibat is wandering out of that tunnel. If the Noibat is there, then Steelix will show up over here and then go to sleep.
Mood.
And if the Noibat does not come out of the tunnel like the first try, then, yeah, this doesn't happen, and that's not good. Now I need 3 more pictures of Steelix. These are going to be a little bit tricky because I need to rapidly zoom out and then zoom back in. I think my camera was a little bit too low on the first one. All right. Now, we have the Steelix Illumina spot run killer trio of Joltik, Noibat again, and Sableye. The Sableye much less so. That should be a good Joltik, although it did start turning away. There are two different movement patterns that Joltik has. It will either look side to side, or it will sort of like scratch its face and then just like for a while. And the side to side is the one that you want because when it's looking at the camera from that, it will be a lot of points, like 4,800 ideally speaking. I grab the Sableye, and that should be probably high 2.2 to 2.3. I'm lowballing my prediction because of the Steelixes at the start. But every time I think that burst of Steelix is bad, I end up PBing on it, so... no, pretty close, though. Time will be coming up when the course score pops up on screen. That was a really good Joltik. Okay, solid Noibat. Solid Sableye. Alright. Maybe that was a little bit better than I predicted. Let's find out. And time. Okay, a 2.4. My Switch is not connected to the internet right now, so I cannot check exactly, but I believe a 2.4 million on that stage is somewhere in the top 25 on the worldwide board, so I will gladly take that in a marathon.
Yeah, let's give it up for Snowball. Wow.
So, few shout-outs real quick that I want to give. Shout-outs to Lady Arcaders for having me on for both this and Sonic Mania yesterday. Both of these were so much fun. Shout-outs to my older sister for getting me into speedrunning and also Pokemon. Like I would not be doing all of these things without her, and I'm just super grateful. Shout outs to all of my friends over at FPE for being very supportive and super cool. Real quick, shameless plug, you can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Blue Sky at SnowballSMB. I like to play Sonic, I like to play Super Monkey Ball, I like to play Pokemon, I like to play occasional indie games, and I also do like to play the new Mario Kart game as well. I like to play a variety of things, and it's always a fun time. But yeah, once again, just thank you so much to Lady Arcaders for having me. This was an absolute blast.
Thank you, Snowball. Between Sonic and Sonic yesterday, hey, make sure you catch that out on our VOD channel. And of course, new Pokemon Snap today. That's been 2 amazing runs. So much fun to watch. And chat, we've got more fun coming up, so stick around. We've got another CPU versus CPU battle, and you're not going to want to miss this chaos. Get your quick stretches in. We will see you shortly.
Baby of mine, it's okay to cry. Mama will stay by your side. Let me sing you a song while I hold you tight. I'll be here to kiss you goodnight. Our day was short, somehow time